Mesdames et messieurs, bonjour, bienvenue sur Liberty TV pour une nouvelle émission, alors une émission dédiée aux fêtes nationales et j'ai le plaisir de commencer cette nouvelle émission avec son Excellence l'ambassadeur Sonam Tobden Ragbie. Well, thank you very much for accepting our invitation.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
So you're here to speak about your beautiful country, but also your National Day, which is on the 17th of December.
Yes.
So, but first of all, can you situate your country and, explain?
Sure, pleasure. Well, Bhutan, as you may have seen on the map, is a very tiny country in the Himalayas. And it is located between two of the largest and most populated countries in the world, between China and India. So we are in the eastern Himalayas. Our population is about 647,000. And we are trying to promote a concept, development concept, what we call gross national happiness. And as we will discuss, this is also woven into our tourism policy.
So you're happy?
We are trying to. We are trying to make happiness a very serious subject, actually. We have done a lot of research with other international experts, scholars, development experts.
So a tiny country, but a lot to do, to see. But you're trying to preserve the cultural heritage, so there's not a massive tourism.
Absolutely. In fact, the main sort of focus of our tourism policy is to focus on low volume and high value tourists. We in fact would not like to encourage mass tourism because this would be it would affect our policy of promoting gross national happiness. Now, if I may quickly explain what this philosophy is about. Basically what the government has been saying, and this is a philosophy that was promoted by our former king, the fourth king. He has said that the country must focus on some priority areas and put their resources in it. And if you do that, then there is a possibility of creating an environment where the people are more happy. Now, what are those priority areas? One is to preserve the culture and heritage. And as you mentioned, this is in fact one of the attractions of tourists. They come to Bhutan because they see a culture and traditions that are alive and that have survived for thousands of years. And the second philosophy, the pillar of gross national happiness, is to preserve the environment. So Bhutan has one of the richest flora fauna in the world. Just to give you an idea, we have over 700 species of birds.
Wow.
And the experts tell us that that is more than the entire bird species in North America. We have lots of endangered animals. We have 72% forest cover. 26% of the country is declared as protected area. And during the Copenhagen Climate Summit in Denmark, Bhutan said it will remain carbon neutral. So we feel that it's a responsibility of the state to preserve, and a lot of effort has been gone to. I'm here today sort of boasting in all these statistics, but actually a lot of effort has gone into it, and this is the vision of the king. And the third pillar of gross national happiness is to have good governance. And to have good governance, of course, the ultimate test is if a leader can give up power and bring in democracy. And that is exactly what our fourth king did. With no pressure, no internal or external pressure, he gave up his throne, the fourth king, and he encouraged parliamentary democracy, and which we have, which has taken root actually is since 2008. March we had the parliamentary elections, and we have now a parliamentary democracy. Of course, we still have a king. We're still a kingdom. Monarchy is very important. And the fourth pillar of gross national happiness is to have sustainable socio-economic development. So that also we have been pursuing. In other words, we don't go into projects and programs that are not sustainable.
Okay, you talked about your king, but you are also famous because you have a beautiful queen.
Thank you very much. Yes, we are very fortunate that we have a very young, beautiful and charismatic king and queen. And the queen, as you said, she has now suddenly come on the center stage because of the royal wedding. And I've had the privilege of meeting her recently, and she is just as the media described. She's very beautiful, but she's also very down to earth and very simple. So I guess that also adds to the aura.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
So on the 17th of December, it's your National Day.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit about this day? What happened actually?
Yes.
Why did you choose that
Yes.
date?
That's a very good question, because a lot of the countries associate National Day with independence. But for us, National Day, particularly in 2011, is very significant, because what it means is now for 104 years, we have, Bhutan has survived as a country. We have never been colonized, so we've been independent throughout history. But what happened on the 17th of December in 1907, exactly 104 years ago, was all the other feudal lords, if I may use that word, because that's more well known in Europe. We had like feudal lords. They all elected one leader.
Okay.
And that leader happened to be Kongsar Ugenwangchuk. And that is how we established monarchy in Bhutan. So he was the first king in 1917 on the 17th of December. And since then, we've had successive monarchs, the Wangchuk dynasty. And under the monarchy, the country has progressed socially, economically, politically. And as I was telling you, even the very excellent environment that we have kept intact, and the culture is all thanks to the vision and dedication of the kings. So so that's why monarchy is sort of immediately evokes a lot of positive emotions in Bhutan, because they represent progress and change.
Okay, and to celebrate this special day, we can wear, like you have, traditional clothes.
Yes, in fact, this is one of the few occasions for us, we diplomats that are posted abroad. We very proudly like to wear our national dress. But if you were to visit Bhutan, you will see most of the people in the national dress. And as I was mentioning, we are trying to promote and preserve our culture. So one of the elements of preserving culture is to promote the arts and crafts.
Okay.
And so textile industry is in fact regarded very important in Bhutan, because it is a cottage industry, and it is mostly run by women. And so we promote the Bhutanese textiles, and we wear it, when we go to work. Just as you would see people wearing suits going to the EU, in Bhutan we will see us wearing this, the national dress.
Okay, and it's the same for women, just different colors.
Yeah, it's a women. It's a long dress, much longer, much prettier, and much more intricate. You know, just to give you an idea, a dress for a man or a woman, the most elaborate ones, it can take up to 6 months to weave, because it's made on the hand loom, and so it takes a long time. Of course, there are some which are less expensive, but so almost every woman or man will have one or two special dresses for special occasions, which are woven by a member of the family or a friend, or they just order it through some other people.
Okay, so if we visit Bhutan, we can bring back those clothes.
Absolutely.
But what kind of gifts can we buy there to please our family?
Yes. Well, a lot of handicrafts actually, because here in Europe, if anything is handmade, it's highly valued. So in Bhutan, you could get not a dress if you are more adventurous, but you could also buy a scarf.
Okay. Textile is very important.
Yes, or a stroll,
handmade,
or a shawl, all handmade.
Okay.
Or you could buy bamboo products, a bamboo picnic basket, or things like that.
Okay, just one more question to end this interview. Can you tell us about cooking specialties?
Okay. Well, Bhutanese cuisine, somebody once described it as a mixture between Indian and Chinese.
Okay.
I mean, just to give you an idea, but actually that may not be a very accurate representation. We have our own cuisine depending on the area that you are in, central or western. But typically, it's a Asian kind of food we eat. A lot of rice, meat, vegetables.
So it's
spicy in the sense chili. We use a lot of pepper, chili. So it's very hot. But I must tell you, since you asked me this question, last year there was a cookbook festival in Paris organized by Cointreau. You know the Cointreau, the makers of the cognac and all that. And the cookbook on Bhutan won the best prize for the Asian cookbook. Because they explained how to make very healthy food, mostly from central Bhutan, which is, they said it is very unique.
Yes, of course. So we can cook your specialties here in Belgium or in France.
Absolutely. This book gives you, and there are some other books also, which gives you the recipe.
Well, that's interesting.
And ingredients are available, most of it.
And we can find maybe those recipe or other information about your country on your website?
Yes, absolutely. We have an agency which is part of the, connected with the government, but also promoting tourism. It is called Bhutan Tourism Council. So if you go on the website and type in Bhutan Tourism Council, COUNCIL, you will immediately get a lot of information. And or if you just punch in Bhutan, there's so many travel agents and organizations that promote Bhutan.
Well, thank you very much for this interview, and I wish you a perfect day.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
That was a pleasure.
My
Merci
pleasure.
à vous de nous avoir suivis et à très bientôt pour une autre fête nationale.